The Chicago Sky are one of the worst basketball teams I've ever seen. And today, their coach literally just waved the white flag. He quit. He literally just said, Phoenix Mercury, destroy us even more than you're destroying us right now. He basically benched all of his starters not long into the third quarter, just gave up.
Tranquilly nothing, nothing, could have prepared us for the complete surrender we saw against the Phoenix Mercury, where Coach Tyler Marsh essentially waved the white flag and benched his entire starting lineup in the third quarter, like a man who would prefer to be literally anywhere else on earth. The 3-9 record is not only disappointing, it is one of the worst starts in WNBA history.
Chicago Sky is more like Chicago, why are you on TV? They're embarrassment, bro. There's a reason why the Indiana Fever are on TV all the time, because they actually have a good product, when they have a good game, even a bad game, they're still actually fun to watch. This is horrible. Chicago Sky is an embarrassment, bro. The WNBA definitely screwed up having this game as a national televised game. They screwed up bad.
The Chicago Sky had already lost 5 of their previous 6 games going into their matchup against Phoenix, and they were averaging a league-worst 18.9 turnovers per game, a figure so outrageous that it almost makes the 1999 Washington Mystics' 21.1 turnovers seem respectable. This isn't just struggling. It's like watching someone attempt brain surgery while wearing oven mitts and a blindfold.
I don't know what's wrong with them, but they could lose this game by 40. I don't know. I don't know what is wrong with this team, because today it wasn't even, I don't even think that this was an effort thing. I don't even think this was an effort problem. But at the end of the day, they're just not good.
The game against Phoenix wasn't just a defeat. It was a high-definition public execution broadcast. The Mercury started strong, taking a commanding 31-18 lead in the first quarter, while the Sky committed 8 turnovers, giving the Phoenix 13 points. But this is where it gets really good. Tyler Marsh, the man brought in to bring this team back to life, literally threw in the towel halfway through the third quarter.
And Chicago Sky fans, hell, they're ready to run Tyler Marsh's ass out. The way he's playing Angel Reese, I'm going to be real with you. The one thing she could do was rebound the ball, and he has taken that away. So much for coming off a triple-double.
With an 11-3 run to start the third quarter and a 25-point lead, Phoenix Mercury was shooting 56.5% from the field and an incredible 57.1% from three-point range. Tyler Marsh, looking around his bench like a captain getting ready to abandon ship, benched both Angel Reese and Kamilla Cardoso, effectively telling the basketball world that he would rather protect his players' dignity than watch them become even more humiliated.
Yeah, I think that we got a couple players that are banged up, so we want to be mindful of minutes. I think that when the game got out of hand there midway through the third, for us there was more preservation at that point. Players were almost at their limit anyway. We went on a back-to-back, and so we wanted to be mindful of that. And if the game wasn't as out of hand, then maybe it would have looked different. But we got to be healthy and ready to go into Atlanta tomorrow. We got 3 games in 4 days with LA on that following Tuesday. So we got to be mindful of having healthy bodies so that we can give us as good of an effort as we can going into tomorrow's game.
Phoenix broke triple digits for the first time this season in a heartbreaking 10,786 loss. The Mercury made a season-high 17 three-pointers, and the ball was turned over 21 times. This wasn't just basketball, it was a PSA about what happens when potential meets reality and reality comes a sledgehammer. Sammy Wickham-Malone made 5 three-pointers in the second quarter, transforming the United Center into her own shooting gallery.
I am here to tell you guys, man, when it comes to the Chicago Sky, No one could have predicted that this team was going to be this bad. I mean, they are horrible, bro. I mean, my goodness. If you guys haven't heard by now, the Chicago Sky has lost another damn basketball game, this time to the hands of the Phoenix Mercury. The Phoenix Mercury put BTA all over the Chicago Sky. And I'm here to tell you, Tyler Marsh is getting the focal point of the blame, bro. But to me, you have to blame the players of this damn basketball team, starting with the leader of the team. I just gotta be honest. That is Princess Barbie Angel Reese. Man, she's been trash. Just horrendous. I just gotta be honest.
Perhaps the most agonizing aspect of this whole circus isn't the losses, but rather seeing Angel Reese attempt to turn this catastrophe into something approaching hope during post-game interviews. If you're enjoying it, then subscribe. The woman, who shot a career-low 31.3% from the field in her most recent interviews, has turned into a masterclass in cognitive dissonance as she stands in front of cameras and talks about maintaining composure and searching for the next shot. After the Mercury game, Reese served up word salad with extra delusion dressing. She talked about getting those 50-50 balls and maximizing off turnovers while her team was being outplayed by players half her size. In a game where rebounding is supposedly her specialty, the woman only managed 2 rebounds, and she's out here talking about taking things personally, as if she's been victimized by the basketball rim herself.
Angel Reese got completely exposed today, man. Y'all see how she only took 1 shot today versus the Mercury and only had 2 rebounds? This goes to show she can't get all those rebounds without taking hella shots, getting her own misses, man. You've been completely exposed today, bricklaying sloth. Completely. When you ain't taking all these shots and missing all these goddamn layups and shit, you can't get your rebounds. So your rebounds go down because no missed shots, no rebounds, man.
This is the same player who went 0 for 8 from the field against the Liberty and turned basketball into an interpretive dance. She's averaging 9.1 points on 30.9% shooting through the first 7 games, numbers that would make a high school JV player blush with embarrassment. The most telling moment occurred when Rhee accepted her Bet Sportswoman of the Year award, saying she doesn't complain and shows up to work every day. What makes these interviews especially cringeworthy is the forced positive. Rhee is constantly praising the quality of the ice cubes on the Titanic and saying that we should give ourselves shame and be extremely happy with where we are as a team right now. In an empty gym, the woman is shooting 28% from inside 3 feet, which is the basketball equivalent of missing layups. She is also discussing extending her shooting range to include mid-range shots.
Obviously, this is my 3rd one. Obviously, it really meant something to other people today because it's me. And I just focus on basketball. I come into work every day and work. I don't complain. I don't care about anything else. I have bad days. I haven't been playing well at all. And I can sit here and just mope around and point the finger, but it's been me. And I take accountability. I come in every day and try to be better than the next and better than the last. And I know my teammates trust me. I know they have my back. Ariel has my back through everything. And I just love that being a part of a team that I know really trusts me and trusts my work, and everything else is everything else. I'm just here just to come to work every day and go home. That's all I want to do, is just come to work and being able to enjoy my job that I love. People would die and kill to have this job. And being able to play with the best players in the world means a lot to me. I put my all in this. I do.
The man who is supposed to be the basketball whisperer who could unlock Angel Reese's potential and transform Kamilla Cardoso into a dominant force, Tyler Marsh, arrived in Chicago with a championship pedigree after helping the Las Vegas Aces win back-to-back WNBA titles. Instead, he has become the embodiment of what happens when immovable incompetence meets unrealistic expectations. The turning point occurred in the 3rd quarter against Phoenix, when Marsh looked at his bench like a man planning his exit strategy. With his team trailing by 25 points and the game degenerating into total chaos, he made the decision that would forever damage his coaching career by pulling his starters and effectively forfeiting the game. This was surrender with a capital, not strategic rest. Peak damage control, player preservation, and Keeping track of minutes on a back-to-back schedule were all covered in Marsha's post-game explanation.
So I had to spin the block. Tyler Marsh, it's time to go. You still have no game plan for the Chicago Sky. And it seems like the games where you're only running offense through Kamilla and you don't have offense at least through somebody else is no plan for that. They're getting blown out extremely bad. I don't understand it.
However, anyone with working eyes could see what actually occurred. It's the coaching equivalent of calling your mother to come get you from a sleepover because the other kids are being mean. The man had seen enough basketball carnage to conclude that his players' emotional health was more significant than their competitive integrity. The most incriminating aspect is that this was not a lone instance of annoyance. After seeing his team commit 22 turnovers against the Liberty, Marsh has been telling reporters in increasingly direct post-game statements, "We can't continue to beat ourselves." The individual who is employed to train top players has instead turned into a full-time damage control professional who spends more time apologizing for mistakes than acknowledging accomplishments. We've had more offensive possessions than the opposition, but we've hurt ourselves with turnovers, and a lot of that is our own doing. This is coach speak for my players, who are basketball chaos agents, and I'm at a loss for how to explain it to the media without losing my job. His remarks regarding the team's turnover problem are especially telling.
Tyler Marsh, he has to figure out how to get experience in understanding basketball. As far as the instincts of it, the right adjustments, and the flow of the game. He doesn't have a lot of experience in that aspect. And he struggles with that. And I think that's a huge problem with him. He struggles with that aspect of understanding the game, when to call timeouts, how to manage his players on the court and off the court, putting him in position to win.
To fully comprehend the extent of this collapse, we must first recognize how historically poor the Chicago Sky have been. Their 0-4 start tied the worst start in the team's history, and things have only gotten worse since then. The team's 60-point deficit through their first 2 games was the worst total through 2 games in WNBA history. But it's not just the record that makes this season so exceptionally terrible. It's also the way these losses have been handled. The Sky scored just 52 points against Indiana, their lowest total since 2011, and they have allowed 91 points or more in 4 straight games while barely breaking 80 points. This isn't just a loss, it's basketball persecution on a biblical scale. The defensive statistics paint a picture that is much more terrible. At 113.6, Chicago has the league's worst defensive rating, letting opponents average 94.3 points per game. They are also the only team that hasn't allowed an opponent to score less than 90 points. Every game becomes an inadvertent three-point contest since teams are shooting 45.1% from three-point range against them throughout the season.
Tyler Marsh, okay, this might sound harsh, but I believe at this point he needs to be fired, along with many other players for our Chicago Sky. It's not just Tyler Marsh. It's not just a coaching issue. It's also a player issue. Rebecca Allen is just pretty much pointless. Haley Van Lith, pointless. We all know Kia Nurse has no business. Kia Nurse, along with Rachel Banham, have no business being on our Chicago.
Watching Kamilla Cardoso's talent be buried beneath the debris of team dysfunction is the most tragic subplot in this catastrophe. She scored 17 points on 7 of 9 shots against Phoenix, a performance that should have been celebrated, but was instead overshadowed by the team's total collapse. The whole tale is conveyed through body language. Cardoso's obvious annoyance during games has been reported on numerous occasions, especially when Reese breaks into her trademark pattern of missing shots and causing offensive havoc during plays where the team's offensive flow falters. When Marsh benched both players in the third quarter, it wasn't only for rest, it was also to preserve what little dignity left. Cardoso was seen staring towards the bench like someone seeking emergency evacuation from a flood. While her friend was busy redefining what it means to struggle with fundamental post plays, Cardoso had been playing effective basketball. The choice to sit both players at the same time conveyed a very strong message. Even strong performances are unable to overcome systemic